Hello, one and all, and welcome to Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. I am the Max Few Trades. Have any of you out there ever seen or experienced a sequel to a game that somehow, someway took every single thing you loved about the original and supercharged it to the nth degree, to the point where you couldn't even fathom how good of an improvement over something you already thought that was amazing was? To me, Banjo-Tooie is quite literally that. This game is phenomenal in my eyes. I know there's a large subsect of people that actually prefer the original, and if that's on you, that's totally fine. But for me, personally, in my life, I have never known a sequel to take everything I loved from the original and just made it better. They included everything from the original and added to it. It's so good. I cannot stress that enough. How much I absolutely adore this game. And I have been waiting almost 10 years to finally feel like I can do it anything resembling justice. And I don't know if that time has really come or not, but I'm gonna do my best. So let's just get into this thing. All you need to know ahead of time, if you hadn't seen the original game, it stars Banjo and Kazooie. They're a bear and a bird. They're best pals. They stopped an evil witch named Gruntilda. 2 years after they managed to accomplish this, the following happens. Let's just have ourselves a fantastic adventure. Two years have passed since Gruntilda the Witch was defeated by Banjo and Kazooie. Rather epically, I might state, they yucked her off a gigantic tower. After falling from her tower, she was buried underground, where she remains until this very day. Yes, that's right. She has been underneath a giant boulder for 2 solid years. No good, mistress. Still can't shift rock. The faithful minion Clungo has been working for 2 years on this. All because of that stupid bear. Some grudges have potentially been formed. And what are our heroes up to now? Mumbo play well. Has much of Bear's cash. He's right, Kazooie. There goes your birdseed money. Don't be so sure, Banjo. Hey, look outside, everyone! Grunty, the witch, is coming! Eoink! Diabolical! Where, Kazooie? I can't see her. Oh, the false alarm bottles. Must have been some shadows. Come on, Boneface. Let's play. I feel lucky. Yeah, I imagine you would, Kazooie. Such a silly, silly birdie. Oh, 2 years may have passed with nothing bad going down. Well, I guess Grunty's revenge happened in the middle of there, but they didn't make that until after this one, so technically, I don't know if you can actually count it or not. Point is, not a lot's been going down. Although that convenient pile of boulders that wasn't there before, that look like they're about to fall over, might be a bit of an ill omen. I'm not an expert, but that can't end well. Stop rocking the table! You're making me sick. Mumbo, not rock table. House shakes, lots. Perhaps one of us should go take a look outside. That might be advised. Generally, you're supposed to leave your building that you're currently in when there's an earthquake going on. It's not the smartest idea to stay inside of them. Granted, they don't know it's not an earthquake, but it's something not dissimilar to it, let's be honest. That is a big honkin' drill, is what that is. But who could be at the helm? Or perhaps, what group of people could be at the helm? It's full of an ominous green gas, so that's obviously not a good sign. Doesn't seem like it's very pleasant in there. Hurry, Blabelda! Our sister is waiting! With a name like Blabelda. Yeah! Quickly, we must go, or angry Grunty will be. Then get off of me, you must, or move I cannot. And thus a funny little repertoire has been established. Stop now. I wonder what it was. Sure was noisy. Let's go take a look, Kazooie. But it is dark out there, and I'll be scared. Mumbo much brave. Me go look outside. Back in minute. What a brave Skullaman he do be. What a sucker, huh? Come on, Banjo. Give me a hand. Literally, I don't have fingers, so. Kazooie! Casual theft. That's the Kazooie way. Ah, well. Certainly a bad omen. Sorry, mistress. I have failed you. Worry, Grunty mustn't. Get you out, your sisters will. Because, of course, it took them 2 years, but they did it. Big rock is, so powers we must combine. Grunty's sisters, you should not mock. Now, watch our magic blast this rock. They actually have a spell specifically referred to as Boulder Blast. Oddly enough, that power seems to involve lifting the boulder off of things first. Seems needlessly convoluted, and mindlessly specific. How often do you need to blow up rocks? Gun, rock has, so out you can come! Of course, 2 years underground is gonna do a thing or two to ya. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. No, no, no! This cannot be! What's happened to little old me? Nice grunty looks. Lost weight you have. That's not really gonna soothe the ego. I hate bones. A body I need, oh god. Can you help with this little deed? Hang on, let me just... hang on. Yes, plan to help we have. So back to our castle we must go. Right, then. Girls, let's fix me up. Then Banjo's hairy butt I'll whoop. Still dedicated to that rhyming motif. This not good. Me go tell Banjo. As stealthily as humanly possible. Yar! Seen us, Bony Man has! Him we must whack! Leave it to me, he's no hassle. I'll kick butt, then off to the castle. Grunty may be a gargantuan dork and massive ham, but she's really not someone you want to underestimate. If you're wondering why she couldn't do that while she had a rock on her, it restricted her movement. She can't cast spells without freedom of movement. Guess I'll be having that birdseed after all, huh, Banjo? But you cheated, Kazooie. That's not... Okay, hello! Ever hear a knocking? Everyone! Must run. Oh boy. Oh, quick! Grunty coming. Unfortunately, yeah, will one believe such tales? Revenge is mine, I cannot miss. Let's see that furry fool dodge this. You might remember this is the spell she tried to use on Banjo at the end of the first game. Yeah, Skull Boy. I bet she had 2 heads. No, joke. Look, spell coming. Banjo's intuition says, yeah, we should probably listen. He's right! Quick, everyone out! Book it! I'm not falling for that trick again. I'm staying right here. Bottles has made his choice. Hurry, you must. Ready to leave, we are. Hold on, sis, I'm nearly there. I've just been to blast that bear. A game of disappearing bears, if you will. Troops, we will leave. Destroy area, they will. I'd kind of prefer if they didn't do that. But I mean, yeah, that stands to reason. You guys are kind of massive jerks. Sort of the entire MO, so I get it. Stop! Wait for me, Mrs. Grunty. No, Clungo, you stay here. I'll be back, have no fear. She says that, but I don't know if her word is good for much. The dawn of a new day, but we've lost so much. Yeah, that's, not great. Mumbo's head hurts, and I'm mostly head. Look at our house. Well, at least everyone got out safely. Have you tried a head count? Because, missing something here. Hang on, where's Goggle Boy? He's been through some stuff. Mo look much unwell. It's worse than that. Grunty's killed poor Bottles. He was the favorite character in Banjo-Kazooie anyway. Kazooie! Sorry. She's just trying to lighten the mood. It's not an easy task. Grunty wreck house and kill Bottles. She must pay. Baron Bird, get after a witch. Mumbo, see you later. He makes it sound as if, you know, he's not going to help, but he does. Great, I get to peck some more witch butt. Let's go, Banjo! I have a feeling it's not going to be so easy this time. Implying that the first time they had to go through all of this stuff was so much easier. Yeah, so, that's an issue. Oh boy. Oh no. Various insects are taking an interest in my corpse. Yeah, this game definitely took itself into a bit of a darker direction than the original. I mean, back then, all Gruntilda wanted to do was steal, you know, Banjo's younger sister's beauty so she'd stop being so hideous. And this one, in the opener, long-established character, the guy who taught you all your moves, the tutorial man. Bottles, he's freaking dead. And a lot of destruction is about to be unleashed upon the world. As you might imagine, just from everything we've seen so far, Spiral Mountain has seen better days. Help! I was knocked off the barbecue and ended up under this rather weighty boulder. Please get rid of it. I can hardly breathe. As much as I'd like to help you, Roystein, that's the fish's name, by the way, in case you didn't know. As much as I'd love to help you, I currently lack the ability to do so. Unlike a lot of video games of this kind of ilk, really, every single move and ability Banjo and Kazooie learned in the last game is right from the get-go available to them. The in-universe explanation for this is Kazooie actually forced Banjo to train more just to make sure that their skills didn't get rusty in the process. However, very sneakily I might add, Kazooie also happened to slightly reformat their moveset just an ever so slight bit. The in-universe and out-universe reasons for this are quite interesting. I'll get into it in just a moment. Stupid bear and bird coming. Me wait for them in here. Godspeed, Clungo, you absolute buffoon. Alright, so, In the original game, not all moves were created equal. One of the least useful abilities in the entire game of the original was Banjo's standard attack, his claw swipe. It was incredibly slow, didn't give you much distance. You basically had so many other options, there was no point in ever using it. So conveniently, Kazooie happened to forget to keep Banjo up on that particular ability, and now the standard attack is now a grounded rat-a-tat-rat. The attack that used to only be usable in the air, so that's pretty nifty. And on top of that, the only other move Banjo had exclusive to only him was his dash attack, where he rolled into a ball to bump into stuff. Kazooie decided that she would forcibly insert herself into that particular maneuver, and now they team up for it. So Kazooie kind of made Banjo entirely dependent on her in every conceivable way. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a thing. Regardless, we're still pretty much prepared as all we need to be. Now, we can now travel around the completely dilapidated and busted up version of Spiral Mountain with the incredibly depressing reprisal of its once incredibly cheery and jaunty tune. And if we go to the various molehills, the Spirit of Bottles will be more than willing to give you a refresher on everything that you're capable of doing. But I can give you a very quick rundown. Basically, you kind of got a quadruple double jump that lets you glide around. You can crouch jump for some big time height. You saw it earlier, but you can also ground pound. There's the rat-a-tat-rap and both of its various forms that you saw. Hold down the crouch and then also hit that. You get the beak barge, which gives you some pretty decent distance, all things considered. Crouch down, go left on the C's buttons, and you get Kazooie to pop out of the back, and boom, boom, boom. Not only do you walk a little bit faster, you've also gained a lot of traction thanks to the talons at her feet. Pretty dang handy, you're going to be using that a lot. Other particular maneuvers would happen to be something akin to that of the ability to swim. Not as incredibly exciting as other abilities, perhaps, but a practical one all the same. Other such things would be these various eggs. These are going to be pretty handy. Try using eggs as ammo. Now, we don't have any idea whatsoever as to who that particular person is right now, but in due time, we shall. With eggs, Kazooie can forcibly eject them from any orifice she so chooses. Pick up honey to boost your energy. Primarily, you're going to be having them shoot out of her mouth like that in a rapid succession. It's definitely the right way to go about it. If you absolutely are of the persuasion that you need to do something different, by all accounts, this is another option. I personally don't go for that, but hey, you know, some people might be able to find a proper use for it. In fact, in the first game, you could actually bonk people with these. Hang on a second. Is it possible to still do that? It, in fact, is. It's not the most practical of options, but it's available to you if you so choose. Alright, and I do believe if we go right over yonder... Oh yeah, that is in fact the truth. Come on! A few flat flips. There you go. And we've got the shock spring pad. Gives you big vertical distance. And we're gonna go ahead and grab that little old goodie, if and you don't mind. Thank you. It's not gonna be much use for us right now, but in due time. Well done. You have found one of my missing pages. Collect 5, then return them to me and Grunty's old lair in Spiral Mountain. We could go visit that character right now, but as he said, we need 5 of his pages before he's actually going to be able to give us much of anything, so we'll hold off for the time being. But I'll just tell you right now, that guy is named Cheeto. He's from the original game, in fact, and wouldn't you believe it, he gave you cheats. And in this particular game, he does the exact same thing, although they are notably less game-breaky. So, no real worries on that front. We've also got, over here, some feathers. Very much would appreciate having myself some of those. Red feathers are needed for Kazooie to fly. And fly we are definitely gonna do a fair bit of. Of course, you don't have to dive underwater all the time. You can always just do your little doggy paddle, or I guess bear paddle, as it were. Regardless. So I guess part of this adventure is gonna be me recounting a lot of childhood stories. So, maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not, but when I was a lot younger, I was incredibly cowardly. Very, very few things didn't irk me or scare me in some capacity. And if you thought this game was any different, you were completely wrong. One of my original biggest phobias in the world is zombies. I still get unnerved by the concept of them. I really just do not do well with them at all. So when I fired up this game for the first time and Roddy's Grunty's rotting corpse essentially pulled itself out of its grave. I couldn't handle that noise, and I left the room as this cutscene kept going. So for the longest time, I actually never watched the entirety of the beginning of the game. And I just kind of really hoped beyond hope that maybe she wouldn't show up too often. Luckily for the child version of myself, she actually doesn't. Bad news for myself would be, yeah, a couple other things are gonna show up that were gonna spook the poor little self of myself, you know? So, we'll get to that when we get to that. Gold feathers are used for invulnerability. It's true. We can use the golden feathers to become completely and totally invulnerable to all forms of damage. And we can tackle just about anything, too. So, that's pretty handy dandy. Unfortunately, you can't carry a lot of these things around. As it turns out, the game designers thought that maybe giving someone unlimited use of the ability to become entirely immortal and basically bums rush their way through just about anything was a bit overpowered, so they had to put a cap on it in some regard. It's primarily used for more so traversal through inhospitable terrains, as it were, less than actual combat applications, though there are a few instances where it still comes in incredible handy, as you might imagine. Another thing about this whole situation is, man, seeing Spiral Mountain destroyed bummed me out as a kid. It still makes me sad seeing it this way now. Tragically, in the sequel to this that came out many years later, the damages weren't entirely fixed. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and talk about that mess. Right now, Spiral Mountain and Bottles need avenging, and we're the ones that are gonna be able to do it. Now, as we saw before, Clungo didn't actually go too far. He's got himself something resembling a plan. And who knows what that might end up being. Spoiler alert, he's gonna try and punch us to death. Clungo is inventive, perhaps, but not the sharpest of the bulbs in the toolbox. If it isn't the Baron Bird who so much trouble for Mr. Scrunty. I don't recall anything like that happening. You stupid! At least we can speak properly. Clungo is mad now! Your game ends here! Clungo is a guy we're gonna be fighting a lot over the course of this game. And each and every time he's gonna have a brand new ability available to him. No fine clever Clungo like this. He has 3 separate potions he can use, and the game actually chooses which one he uses entirely at random. Invisibility is probably one of his lesser impressive of the 3. I'd actually call it maybe the second best out of the 3. And even then, like I said, still pretty unimpressive. Clever Clungo, hide behind the magic shield. Now so bear my special potion. When all else fails, just throw all manner of God knows what at the enemy and hope that it all works out. Unfortunately, he doesn't advise himself to the Space Invaders method of combat of shooting where I'm going rather than where I am. Also, his potion isn't exactly the most fantastic in the world. It kind of makes it obvious where he is, and he's not nearly fast enough on his feet to really make use of the invisibility in any regard. You'd have to have a lot of blackouts, like, consistently every few moments to actually lose track of the guy. Putang! 3 hits is all that it takes. It is the beginning of the game, though, so you can't be too shocked. He's not down for too long, but he's still pretty defeated. Nasty Baron Bird hurts poor Clungo. You asked for it. Quite literally. Why don't you run off and we'll forget this ever happens. Yeah, good idea. But you not seen less of Clungo. Clungo coming. This. Please beat failure Clungo with broomstick. Oh, Clungo, you're far too loyal for your own good. Hopefully he'll one day realize that. Alright then, well, it's kinda obvious where they probably went off to, given the massive, you know, drill treads everywhere. Alright, it's time to go a little bit beyond our normal comfort zone. Whereas before, everything we saw was inside of Grunty's lair inside Spiral Mountain. We need to explore the world a little bit outside of that now in order to find where we need to go. The first place on that, the Ilohag's Jinjo Village. You remember those little dragony bird type fellow friends that we made in the first game? Yeah, turns out this is where they live. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Banjo's house in the first place. Who'd have guessed, huh? That said, there isn't anybody home right now. They kind of got shooken up a little bit by the giant drill. In fact, as you might have noticed, one of these is a little bit worse for wear. And really, truly, sadly, above all else, it's not just the building that got knocked over. This is an information signpost. Press B when next to one to read it. Will do, will do. In loving memory of the Grey Jinjo family, passed away unexpectedly when a huge digging machine flattened their house. Yeah, that's just another pile of bodies on Grunty's incredibly long list of horrible things that she is responsible for. Although admittedly, the way the tracks go makes it imply that this is part of their entrance plan rather than their exits. Also the fact that the sign got put up at all. Anyway, as you might imagine, the Jinjos got kinda worried about everything and kind of flew the coop, as it were. This is one of my silos. Open up some more to create a network of shortcut tunnels. Oh, we'll be making incredible use out of that, I assure you. All right, now let's casually wait a moment here and grab more of the Goldens. There you go, can only have 10 of the things. So, despite it being a rather peppy and bouncy and joyous little old village, yeah, there's not a lot of occupants here. So, naturally, when you don't know what else to do, go inside the biggest, fanciest building you can find and hope that there's somebody in there who knows what's going on. Crazier things have happened. It's worth a shot, I've gotta say. King Jingling's throne room! Ah, lordy, it's the king of the Jings! Well, the Jins, I suppose. It's part of the reason why I thought they were called Jingos for so long. Oh, what's up? I'm King Jingling, king of all things Jinjo and ruler of this village. Your kingdom seems a bit empty. My people were scared away by those witches and their giant machine. I kinda like it quiet, but I need to get them all back for the kickball tournament next week. Doesn't that not seem important to me? But it is. There's a big kickball rivalry between the Jinjos and the Moles, which means there could be trouble if we don't turn up. Oh dear. Exactly. Anyway, there's an incentive for you to rescue my people. Our first Diggy! Artifact of arcane powers! I believe you should go and see Master Jiggy Wiggy in his temple now. Jiggy who? Jiggy Wiggy. He's the leader of a secret and ancient order dedicated to the mystical powers of the Crystal Jiggy. Ancient order? Crystal Jiggy? You just made that up, didn't you? No, honest, it's all true. He's very important to your adventure, as only the Crystal Jiggy can open the worlds that you must enter. Can you show us the way, King Tingling? Okay, well, first of all, you got my name wrong, but yeah, sure, it'll be my pleasure. Like, seriously, if you're ever gonna get my name wrong, could it not be that? I don't know if you know this, but I kinda had a really awful childhood because of my name, so, you know, if you could just be a little more careful, that'd be sweet. Anyway, that's a pretty cool king. Even if the strange creature that he was petting was bizarre and I'm not entirely sure what it was, it do be mad squeaky, though. It's got that going for it. It's like a squeaky toy. Not bad for a king, huh? Yeah, this strange pet thingy was cool. Let's go and find that Jiggy Wiggy then. Unfortunately for Banjo and Kazooie, the Witch Sisters are not sitting idly by. Oh, they've got themselves quite the plan. Meanwhile, in a building. I guess that is technically a castle now, ain't it? Also, that looks like a bit of an issue. Not a big fan of that. What are you crones up to? As if I didn't know. Come on, sisters, time I lack. What's the plan to get my body back? Annoying your rhyming is, so stop it or we will not tell. Oh, like your linguistic skills are so eloquent. Oh, if I must. She was so easily persuaded. B.O.B. this is. Big O Blaster, built by Mindy and me. Life force from ground, plants, and creatures it can suck. There's a lot of euphemisms in this, and that's not even a joke. Stored in big tank life forces. Shower grunty will take when tank full. Then new body you will have. An evil and heartless plan. I like it. How long will it take to suck up enough life force? Not slim you are, rude, so plenty will be needed. So start blasting! Patient you must be, target you first must pick. That cursed Jingling has just given the furry fool a jiggy. I reckon we should blast the Jingo King. Auto-targeting B.O.B. has button you only have to press. So basically every friend we make is going to meet with an incredibly terrible fate, it seems. Warmed up, B.O.B. is, so begin will the firing sequence. Tragically for the king of all Jinjos, it is a pretty good showing of power to, you know, show the stakes of the situation. And just suck up the life force of most things. Even inorganic things get taken. Target B.O.B. has hit. Steal life force he will. Unlucky B.O.B. was. Bear we just missed. Never mind him. What about that traitor Jingling? Hey, remember how I was scared of zombies as a kid? This didn't help. He's just a zombie now. Ugh. That still triggers my flight or fight response. Successful B.O.B. was. Jingling's life force we have. Right then, girls. Let's blast the whole island. This we can do, but big charge up B.O.B. will need. Hours it will take, and revenge bear will seek. I wouldn't worry. Banjo's got no one to help him now that Mole and Jingling are gone. He'll never get to us in time. A bold assumption that I hope to one day prove inaccurate. That being said, yeah, by the way, check out just how barely we almost got hit by that. Holy hell. Also, if you're wondering, you can go in there and the zombie Jingling will in fact attack you. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but his pet also seemed to got turned into ashes and just its googly eyes are on the couch now. It's like severed eyeballs. I don't need none of that in my life. Luckily for us, there's nothing in there of value. So, unfortunate, obviously. Okay, well, let's just swing by Bottle's house. I'm sure nothing incredibly overtly depressing will take place in there. I mean, it's not like he had a family that we previously were entirely unaware of or anything. Oh, he had a wife and kids. Okay. Awkward! How's it going? Hello there, Banjo. How are we today? Pretty good, Mrs. Bottles. I mean, I'm gonna lie to you anyway. How are things? Oh, fine, fine. Tell her about Ghosty Boy. Keep it quiet, Kazooie. What was that? Is Bottles okay? He should be back from Spiral Mountain for his dinner soon. He never misses his dinner, you know. I'm sure he'll be back soon, Mrs. B. Well, don't need to bring that aspect up right now. You know how it is. Also, Heezems, I believe that we can actually get a bit more stuff out of you. Yeah. Where has my Bottles got to? I need him back here to deal with that monster in our bedroom. We've got to tell her, Banjo. Not now, Kazooie. I mean, as snarky and as jaded and cynical as Kazooie is, I mean, she's not wrong. Are we supposed to just never tell them that he's dead? Because that's not the greatest of ideas. Regardless, we cleared out the monster for you, so, you know, don't worry about it. He won't have to take care of it. He'll be fine. Finger gun awkwardly as I walk backwards out of this room. All right, let's just move ourselves over here for a little bit. Ah, delightful. Bottle's youngest child. Also, just throwing for the record, yes, actually, that is a Donkey Kong toy that they're playing with. It is adorable and I wish I had it. Hello, Banjo. Hi, Goggles. Since you and Daddy are such good friends, I'll give you these prototype glasses he's working on. Did he finish working on them by any chance? Oh yeah, I believe they're called the Amazo gaze glasses. How do they work? Well, when in Banjo's eyes view, use the left C and right C to zoom in and out. Not bad. And with that, we do indeed have the ability to enhance our vision. Hello, protagonist to Jet Force Gemini. I'm probably gonna play that game at some point if I'm being honest. It's a real underrated gem, quite like Grabbed by the Ghoulies. It's so strange. Rareware he has 3 categories, basically. All-time classics, really good games that for whatever reason just kinda didn't get popular, and games we dare not to talk about. Regardless, that's all well and good, Anyway, oh, hello there. Hey there, Banjo. Nice, Becky. Me and my dad are gonna be playing in the kickball tournament next week over at the Mayan Stadium. King Jingling has organized it especially for my dad since he's such a hero. I don't suppose you have any substitutes? Well, why would we need substitutes? My dad is the best on the team. I'm sure he is. And did you know that tunnel over there is my secret way out of the village? You might find it useful. We already know that. King Dangalang is a personal friend of ours. He opened it up, especially for us. It was literally his last act. Also, yes, for the record, he is basically wearing a slightly different version of Ash Ketchum's hat. That is a deliberate reference. Also, for reasons I don't need to justify, I'm now going to inspect this poster. I am content with the inspection of this poster. High quality, high quality. Also, is it really your secret tunnel? I mean, King Jingling apparently had the only way of opening it. Why does he have secret access to a door that into your bedroom, exactly? I'm not trying to imply weird stuff here. I'm actually not. I understand why gameplay-wise it's where it is, but I'm just talking, like, plot-wise it's kind of weird. But, you know, it's all on the up and up. We know Jangalang is up on the up and up. He's a good guy. It's just one of those things that, you know, you don't think about it first, but then eventually you do. I am Jiggy Wiggy, and this is my temple. If you want to see me, you'll need to get past my doorman first. And yes, they do have entire Jiggies as heads for whatever reason. Your guess is as good as mine as to how any of that noise works. Like, biologically, some of the creatures in video games truly are a marvel among themselves. Alright, the various baddies are definitely trying to mess me up something fierce. We ain't about to do that. And hello, it's a giant honking egg. Might as well inspect this noise before we go to the proper locations. It's Heggy's egg shed. Heggy the hen, find special egg. Got no special eggs yet. Afraid not. Heggy got one, but can't reach it, so you must hatch. So yeah, there are a fair few. Oh god, yeah, that's the poopy. That's a big pile of the poopy. Yeah, okay. So luckily they do have one particular egg. There are a couple more that we can pick up, and fortunately, as they said, she can't get up there to hatch it, and we need to do that ourselves. Unfortunately, we have absolutely no means to do that. Now, I know what you're thinking. We have a bird on our team. Doesn't that apply to anything? And you wouldn't be entirely wrong, but at the moment, not so much. So, don't worry about that too much. We'll be coming back to it when it's relevant. We're gonna be doing a lot of that in this game. Everything is all super duper interconnected. It's a big old thing. Anyway, that'll come in handy. Now we can head back to the original area we were at without any issues. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a quick jaunt on over here real quick. just to refamiliarize myself with everything that's going on in these here parts. Ah, yes, I remember now. Alright, now that I got that whole area remapped out in my brainscape, let's go check out that sacred temple or whatever. Fun fact, the honey health pickup items in the original game, they faded away over time. In this game, they don't. They just stick it out and wait for you until you eventually grab them. It's honestly kind of really nice. I am lowly disciple of Jiggy Wiggy. I work the door of his sacred temple to keep out those who are not worthy. Sounds like fun. Do you think you're worthy? Or we are worthy? Well, that depends. To prove yourself worthy to enter, you must collect images in the form of Jiggy Wiggy himself. And what might these images look like? Jigsaw pieces, also known as Jiggies. That sounds familiar. Let's see what you have then. It seems you have collected enough Jiggies to be allowed inside. Remember, no cameras permitted and only food purchased at McJiggy's can be eaten within. And yet, despite that fact, there is no McJiggy's located within the temple. I was promised McJiggy's quality cuisine, and I've been given nothing. I dare say I should bring legal action upon thee. But unfortunately, we've got more important things to deal with. Greetings, O chosen one. You have entered the sacred temple of Jiggy Wiggy. Approach the golden monolith, and you wish to prove yourself worthy. And we apparently do! So let's get on that noise. Alright, well hang on a second, what's up? Okay, well I didn't mean to peck at the board, I wanted to read it. When fortune smiles, here will be written the Jiggy secrets. Ah, right, gotcha. I forgot about that aspect. Those aren't gonna be useful to us for a while. Press B when near the monolith to attempt Jiggy Wiggy's Challenge 1. And when it comes to, you know, puzzle pieces, what else would you ever possibly expect to have to do, you know? You must complete the image before you if you wish to travel to where it shows. Use the control stick to guide your hand. Press A to pick up a piece. Once a piece is held, it can be placed down by pressing A or return to the outside by pressing B. You only have a limited time to prove yourself. May Jiggy Wiggy grant you luck. Yeah, well, luckily it's not exactly the most complicated of puzzles, so we don't have too much to worry about in that regard. And we'll just slam jam a few of these things into place, no big deal. There we go, like so, like so. Also, your monolith appears to be on the fritz, my dude. Blammo! Not a very clear image of what we're going to. You have completed Jiggy Wiggy's Challenge 1. So now the Great One will show you the way. I've decided to make him sound like Almec from Legends of the Hidden Temple somewhere halfway through that. And I'm okay with that, honestly. By the sacred power of the Crystal Jiggy, matched only by the sacred powers of the Crystal Coconut of Congo Bongo Isle, behold the power of the mighty Jiggy Wiggy. The crystalline beam shall shoot triumphantly from the ceiling. How exactly the beam of light bends and twists its way over to the location that we're trying to aim it is a bit of a mystery on my part, but regardless of that fact, I believe you'll see that everything is going to work out pretty snazzily. And boom, boom, shabba-baba, kablamba! And it didn't even just blow the door open. It's actually a super key. Pretty nifty, pretty nifty. Very nice. You do not have enough Jiggies to attempt Challenge 2. Come back later when you do, and you can challenge the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. Ha ha! I don't know why I get so much fun out of that. Hopefully you guys don't mind me doing all these silly-ish voices. Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun for me. I don't know. Hopefully I don't do it too annoying. I'm not trying to go super bombastic with the voices. I'm trying to be, you know, a little bit more subtle about it. I did the same in the first game, but I felt like I went a little too in on all of them. I feel like I could get away with maybe doing more of it if I just decide to do it a little bit more subtly. It also doesn't hurt my throat nearly as bad. I don't know what my thoughts on that original Kazooie voice were all about. Anyway, World 1, y'all. This is Jiggy Wiggy's Altar of Knowledge. Press B to view the Mighty One's wisdom. Well, might as well. I have already opened this door for you. Well, ain't that just convenient? Probably should have read it before I ended up going through that. Ah well, World 1 is go, people!